The House by the Cemetery is peak Lucio Fulci kind of stuff, ripping off a number of films and creating something rather memorable by doing that as well. Here you get some creepy children, pretty much from The Shining. You get a haunted house story, you get some zombie action, you get a load of blood and guts and a lot of creep factor, and I love the hell out of this one. You get a family on a business trip who are being put up in this house that nobody really wants to stay in. It's next to a cemetery and lots of spooky stuff's going to happen in here. There is a young kid, Bob, with this family who has a connection with some other girl that only he really plays with there, who keeps warning him that there's something wrong in that house. Don't go in the house. There's all kinds of spooky stuff like bloody mannequins, bats that just need to be put out of their misery in the most brutal fashion. People in the town start to die off. It's just a kind of typical Fulci movie, but under 90 minutes. It's full of blood, guts, gore, and particularly great scares and a sense of uneasy tension. It's one of those movies, and the Italians do this really well, where they just throw kids in danger. Most American movies, you're like, I know the kid's going to be safe, everything's going to be fine. Here, it looks like they're specifically trying to give them serious psychological damage to the actor. And in the film, the person's put through so much, as little Bob is at the end of this one, and you're genuinely afraid for him, because at any moment, you're pretty sure Fulci's just going to kill him in front of our very eyes in a remarkably bloody fashion, because this movie doesn't go by conventions. It likes to do things in its own way, even though it's stealing plot points and tropey factors from other movies. It's doing its own thing with these parts, and I kind of appreciate that.
No, Bob. Don't go inside. I want you not to.
The House by the Cemetery looks fantastic in 4K. You get all these bloody shots. You've got this fantastic music that just perpetrates the thing, creating that spooky factor. You've got ghostly apparitions going on and a general sense of unease that it is really unsettling. The House by the Cemetery is a fun, bloody Fulci masterpiece of a movie. I've always had a soft spot for this one. Every time I sit down to watch it, I go, I know it's got its problems, it's not perfect, there's inconsistencies, things just happen because we need to forward the story. Things are pushed to the almost breaking point, particularly some of the scary sequences where you're almost getting to that frustrated point just as he lets go. It's got that measured aspect of tension. It's not perfect, but my goodness, is a hell of a lot of fun. And Fulci knows exactly what he's doing in this point. Like I said, he pushes that tension. He knows when to drop in the scares. He knows when to show something and just draw a sequence out that has no need to be drawn out. The sequence in particular with the bat doesn't need to be as long, as bloody, as just intense as it is. But Fulci's like, you know what? I'm going to scare the crap out of you.
No, not the children! No!
House by the Cemetery is a great deal of fun. I love the film. If you haven't seen it and you're into Italian movies, well, what are you waiting for? Check it out. It's brilliant. There we have it. House by the Cemetery is out now on Arrow Video, Blu-ray and 4K, and I say yes, pick it up. It's a real treat, especially at this time of year. I'd love to know your thoughts on House by the Cemetery. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, fall somewhere in the middle. Can't wait to read your comments. There is more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to the Patreon membership programme, manvfilm.com always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.